Hi, I'm James with British Customs. Today we're going to do a walk around on this 2023 T120 Black build. Originally we wanted to do a revamp of our black and chrome bike, but when we got this bike and we looked at the gas tank, and it really inspired us to go a different direction. So on these later model Triumphs, we really got to hand it to them. They've been doing a great job with the paint jobs. You know, normally we'll do a custom paint scheme, but we don't have to on this. And this tank really inspired us to go with the contrast of the flat black and the shiny black mixed with the chrome, and we kind of wanted to just do that through the whole bike. So when we start our builds, we like to start off with the handlebar, which will help us develop the stance that we're going to have on the bike. And we knew we wanted a nice retro feel on this bike, so we went with our retro bar. It's in between a cafe bar and a tracker bar, so you're sitting a little more upright than the cafe, which is a little more comfortable for a lot of people, and but you're not too high like a tracker. So we've had these bars for a while. We've used them on a few other builds, but we never really released them. We were using other bars, but when we came to the liquid cooled ones, we found that anything with these 1-inch bars and these wider switch controls here, that they would end up on the bend of the other manufacturer's bars. So we finally decided we had to release these on the liquid cooled models. These are made from 304 stainless steel, all mandrel bent right here in the US. For the mirrors, we wanted to go with a clean, minimal look, so we went with the CRG blind sight mirrors. And these are mounted using our expandable rubber adapters that fit 1-inch and 7/8 bars. And as you tighten them up, they just expand inside the bar. And that'll hold your mirror on. We decided to use our 4-bolt risers to give a nice, cool custom look and a better clamp load. These are finished and manufactured right here in the USA. So typically when you install handlebars on these liquid cooled models, they have ABS brakes, and the brake line runs all the way from the master cylinder back to the front, right in front of the rear wheel. So it's a long, complicated process to replace that line, and a lot of people are wanting an easier way to do it. So we're in the middle of testing some products to see if there's an easier way to not have to change the brake line, but you know, we'll find out. If they're safe, if they're easy to install, then we'll probably be releasing that. Overall, the best way to do it is to replace the complete brake line. And when you do our kit, it has 2 brake lines. One goes from the middle all the way back, and then it goes up to here. So if you ever want to change your bars in the future, now you just have to lift up the tank, disconnect there, and change the line to match that handlebar. So it makes it a little easier down the line, but the first initial time you have to run that full brake line. If you're not feeling up to that job and you just want an easier way, we're hoping something's going to work out up here where you won't have to replace the whole brake line. For the exhaust, we went with our 3.5 Predator Carbon. The reverse cone design is a very vintage style look to it, with the addition of the carbon end cap gives it a nice modern edge, and it matches with the paint finish. It looks very similar to our Predator Pro, but the baffle design is designed more for performance and weight loss. So you can see on the Predator Carbon, we have a perforated core baffle in there, which offers better performance, lighter weight, and a different sound. So on the Predator Pro, you can see we use a more traditional louvered core baffle, which offers a more traditional sound. It's a little bit heavier in weight, but it still offers much more performance over stock. So on this pipe, you can see we have the black finish on here. This is an add-on service. Normally these just come in a brushed stainless, but we offer it also as an add-on service to get it ceramic coated black. So now let's check out the weight savings we get over stock. So here's the stock. Comes in at 7.55 pounds. That's with all the hardware, clamp and mounting hardware. So let's do our Predator Carbon. Comes in at 2.55 pounds with all the hardware, clamp and everything. So to clean up the tail section, we decided to go with our slammer seat and diamond stitch, and we put our bob pan taillight kit on the back. We used a flat black to match with the flat black on the tank, so the back side goes flat and the front is gloss. And this really cleans up the back. As you can see, compared to the stock, there's a big difference there. So as you can see, this stock seat, this color does nothing for this paint scheme at all, so the black looks way better. Also, we got the flat bench style, where this has a bit of a recess that locks you in place here, and this allows you to move wherever you feel most comfortable on there. So we swapped out our turn signals for the retro turn signals with LED light bulbs. So we did the same in the back, swapped these out with this whole tail kit, and the turn signals are now mounted up off the shocks over here, tucked away nice and neat. So we decided to swap out the sprocket from this CAD-plated OEM to a nice black one and a gold chain instead of the raw silver. They make a real big difference when they're on the bike. You might not think so until you put it on there. We did our retro chain guard as opposed to the stock, because now we got our speed holes on there and we can see through and see our chain. And the gold chain ties into the carburetor top here with the brass on it, so it all kind of ties together. So to continue with our retro look, we went with our Bates foot pegs that are made with the original Bates mold. And we have this offset to match the stock, so it keeps your feet right where they were. But if you want to come up a little bit higher, it gives you a little more ground clearance. You don't have to run the offset. You can run the peg straight into this, which will lift your foot peg up a little bit higher. So if you ever wear out the rubber on these foot pegs, you can replace them. You could just buy the Bates rubber by itself. But you could also ditch the rubber, and underneath this that this is slid onto is the same peg as our race peg. And you could just leave the rubber off, and this is what you're going to have. This is all machined out of aluminum, black anodized, and this is a nice grip to it, so you can ride pretty aggressive with it and feel confident that you're not going to slip off of it. So for the rotors, we decided to ditch the stock rotor, and we went with the Galfer full floating wave rotor. They just look way cooler, and these are nice high performance brakes that you can feel it as soon as you hit it, so much better than stock. So on the back rotor, again, we went with our Galfer wave rotor, except this isn't a floating rotor. This is rigid mounted just like the stock one, but it complements the front rotors. So to clean up the front end even more, we got rid of the front fender with this bracket on it. It's a big fender. We went with the shorty fender, and we stuck with the gloss black to complement the paint job, where the tank is gloss in the front, flat in the back. So we got the flat fender in the back and the gloss fender in the front. So for the badges, we decided to change these out, get rid of this plastic one, and put our polished fin cover on there, which matches the fins on the motor. Same thing on the other side. We got rid of the chrome one that doesn't even match anything on this bike, and we put the finned one on there. So it matches both sides now, matches the motor. And then same thing on the master cylinder cover. We got rid of the boring stock one there. A nice polished fin top. So that's it for this T120 Black build. If you got any bikes you want to see us customized, then let us know in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching.